Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to the Khalid and Tatjana show. We are your hosts, Khalid bin Walid, and the amazing
Tatjana de Queiroz. Khalid, we're doing a special episode today. Last week, it was Saudi's founding day, and you're going to take us and our viewers on a little bit of a journey through time, through history, through deserts, through culture, so that we can better understand what Founding Day is, what significance it has for Saudi Arabia, and what cultural value it holds today for Saudi people.
Thanks for the amazing introduction there, Tatiana. Saudi Founding Day is the celebration of the founding of the first Saudi state. That was done by Imam Muhammad bin Saud back in 1727. He was the political arm, and Muhammad bin Abdul Wahab was the religious arm. And it was then that they signed this socio-religious reform that spread all throughout the Arabian Peninsula. It's very special and dear to our hearts because Saudi, unlike many other states all around the world, claims that it has a founding day. And it wasn't a UN charter, it wasn't ink that was scribbled on a piece of paper that created Saudi Arabia. It was somebody from Saudi who created the kingdom, and that's why we are very, very, very proud of that.
Can you tell me a little bit, because I knew obviously about Saudi National Day, but what's the difference between Saudi National Day and Saudi Founding Day?
Okay, we actually have a little image here we can use.
Pulling it up.
All right. So Saudi has gone through 3 states. There was the first Saudi state, the second, and the third. And there wasn't actually much time between each and every one of them, less than a decade, really. And the idea is Saudi Founding Day was the founding in 1727, and Saudi National Day, of the first Saudi state, and Saudi National Day is our current state. So National Day celebrates the current Saudi kingdom, and Saudi Founding Day celebrates, as we say in Arabic, Yom Bedena, when we started.
And what's the today? Because now, how old did you celebrate Saudi Founding Day this year?
I think it was 297.
1727 was the first Saudi state, I can see. So that's nearly 300 years old.
Yep.
See, this is where the thing where people say, oh, Saudi Arabia is a relatively new country and a relatively new kingdom. It isn't. It's older than the United States, I think.
No, it's not. And also worth to mention that there was also an even older emirate of Dar'iyah sometime in the 1400s. So it was actually Imam Saud's 12th grandfather that actually started that. But it wasn't considered as the first Saudi state as of yet. This was the official Saudi state with a government, with a flag. And we actually can pull up the
pulling it up.
Yeah, the original flag, which looks very similar to the Saudi flag, minus the sword and minus that white stripe on the side there.
Amazing. And tell me, because you were telling me about it last week, how do you celebrate it? It sounded really fun.
Well, it's a very big sort of costume competition. Everybody wants to show and be a little bit extra with their national or rather their local traditional clothes. So
should we pull up some of the photos that you've selected?
Yeah. There's the first one with the icons here that shows the traditional menswear. Should be the second one, I think, from your end.
Yes.
So we can start from the top left. That's the southern look, let's call it. Then we have Sharqiya, represent.
You represent.
Then we have the central area, so Riyadh and everything around it. Then we have, again, from the left side, the bottom, we have the western area as again. The western area twice. Central area, and then last but not least, certainly not least, the northern area of Saudi Arabia. The image afterwards, again, we're going to start from the top left. We have the southern, then the eastern, Sharqiya. You've probably seen the green one during Ramadan and things like that.
I have, yes.
Yeah. Then we have the central region. The bottom, we have from the left, the western, two different types of clothing. Then central, and last again, and not least, the northern region.
They're so intricate. They're absolutely beautiful. And you've chosen and pulled up so many different photos and examples of costumes. And it's such a rich heritage, which honestly deserves to be showcased a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people, when they imagine Saudi, they imagine it as a huge, just basically one big sand dune, which is completely incorrect. It's about the size of the whole of Eastern Europe. I don't know, maybe later on I could do a YouTube short showing the exact size and how it fits.
Yes, I think, because I don't think people realize how big Saudi Arabia is. How long would it take to drive from Sharqiya through to, where would it be?
Riyadh.
The other side? No, I'm thinking through the empty quarter.
Well, you can, but I think if you're going to go really through a straight line,
Yeah,
from Sharqiya all the way to Mecca, we're talking about at least 1,700 kilometers or so, and that's just going the width of the kingdom, not even considering the length of it, right? And the reason why I was saying this is because I wanted people to realize that there's mountainous regions, there's coastal areas, there's valleys, there's snow, there's sand, there's everything. I mean, you'll probably like this one. There's a picture of the camels in the middle of a huge field of flowers. Yeah, you didn't.
it's so beautiful.
Yeah. You know, people, they think the desert is just a desert. They don't realize that once the rain falls, we have this beautiful flower beds everywhere. Mm-hmm.
And people, as you said, don't realize that it snows. Once in a while, it actually does snow.
It does snow. It does, doesn't it? I mean, there was that.
No, go ahead.
There was that video of it was shown on social media. It says, "This isn't Eskimos; these are Saudis." There was snowfall, and they were
and people were doing snowballs. I remember it was, I think, in the northern area. It comes up in the news about once a year when it snows. But I see that you took some photos of little girls in beautifully intricate costumes. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about this?
just so which one are we looking at? Because there's so many. I sent you so
near the bottom.
The ones in pink?
Guys, we have a Google Drive to kind of coordinate. We're looking at the same thing so that we can actually put the pictures up for you.
Yeah.
So the ones near the bottom of our Google Drive.
Right. And the ones near our bottom. The ones in pink.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the traditional Hashemite clothing. And my fellow Western side Hijaziya, please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what they would wear on the day of their marriage. So it's yeah, this is
It's like a
traditional.
wedding, a ceremonial wedding dress.
If you swipe to the one afterwards, you'll see her actually covering her face with a
Yes.
pearly veil, and that's how she would enter um, uh, the celebration. You know, before the husband opens it, and it's you know it's
But
cute.
it's ritualistic. It's
Yes.
ritualistic. Like in
Mm.
every culture, and I would say older culture, dare I say,
Mm.
it's absolutely ritualistic. I mean, did you know, for example, that in Russia, men and women were separated until the 17th century,
I
and
can believe
women
that.
totally covered their face under Russian orthodoxy and weren't allowed to sing either.
Really?
No. But let's focus on
Mm.
Saudi
Mm.
founding. And I saw that you put. So I've watched some of these. I'm gonna admit I've been naughty, because you know how much I really enjoy traditional music. But there's one of that we're going to watch right now, of the Saudi Orchestra.
Ah, yes. The United Colors of Saudi, as I like to call it.
Khalid, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this video and about the different dances? Because for me, some even look like Cossack dancers.
Well, we've already established Saudi's a very big place. You know, it's a very big geography, lots of cultures. And I'm not going to walk you through each and every one,
Yeah.
obviously, but the National Orchestra made it a point to showcase each and every region. Now, broadly speaking, Saudi can be sectioned into 5 regions. So if you go through the video, you know, we can maybe in the comments you can tell us which regions you think, judging from the previous picture, which region corresponds to which clothes. A bit of some homework for our listeners.
Yeah. And I think there's kind of a really interesting point, maybe to bring on for our Western listeners, is, and especially as we're approaching Ramadan, maybe people will notice that Saudis also come in all colors. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about how race is seen in Islam and how that is represented in Saudi Arabia?
You know how sometimes people who are raised in the West, they would say that they're colorblind. They don't really see race. Well, the funny thing is, due to Islamic teachings, really race isn't as big as a deal in Saudi as it is in other places. Not to say it doesn't have a place, it does, but because the Arabs are very meticulous in their heritage. I and any real Arab can tell you who he is up to his seventh grandfather. You know, Khalid bin Walid bin all the way to you know. Hopefully not all the way to Adam because that'd be a bit autistic, but yes, they could go very far. And going back to that, it's more tribal here. So it's people are very proud of the tribe they come from. And a little also known fact is usually people in Saudi can tell who you are just by looking at you, which is fascinating. It's an
Which is
article by itself.
fascinating for such a big country and
Yeah.
simultaneously a little bit scary.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Okay, and let's fast forward to, well, today into last week. What do you do on Saudi Founding Day's tips? What did you do, or what do you recommend for a non-Saudi who's in Saudi Arabia during Saudi Founding Day? How can they spend the day? How can they respectfully discover the culture, participate in the celebrations, and learn more about the kingdom?
Okay, we'll start from people who are outside the kingdom first. Um, I'd say if you are very interested, contact, it's too late for this year, but maybe for next year, contact the Saudi embassy / consulate. They always have one-day celebrations. You want to learn more? We can give you I think we'll keep a link somewhere in the
Yeah,
description of the video.
the link is going to put below. We'll put the link for the Saudi embassies
No,
that you can look.
rather than the Saudi embassies, let's put the booklet, the one I put on the drive. Let's put that there.
It's true. You prepared, Khalid. You prepared a booklet. So there's a booklet that you
Yeah.
prepared.
So we'll put the booklet, and you can contact the Saudi embassy. They always have you'll get introduced to the Saudi culture, Saudi coffee, Saudi foods, and get to ask people who are a little bit more qualified than I to answer any of questions you have. In Saudi, grab the nearest Saudi you know and tell them.
Grab the nearest Saudi on the street.
Not on the street. Although,
Innocently getting a coffee.
give me coffee. Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Knowing Saudis, they probably won't have a problem doing that, would they?
Probably it won't. They'll be like, okay, jump into the car. Come on.
Yalla, let's go. Yeah. So there's lots of celebrations, fireworks. If you are in Riyadh, Jeddah, or Dammam, Khobar, any of the big cities, there'll be a long list of things happening. So keep your eye out.
Khalid, thank you so much for sharing with us Foundings Day, for sharing with us about your history, about your culture, and for everyone listening or watching us, if you want us to do some smaller segments like this about Saudi culture, about Russian culture, about Swiss culture, about different places, let us know and we'll definitely create some more content for you. So make sure to
Like, subscribe, and comment below.
Thank you. Bye.